Fit like up, the Danny Boy here, and welcome back to another Transport Fever at the races. This is the last race of round 6, this is the bonus race, and today we are running Class 43s, or the 125, the high speed train for Britain. And we managed to get these trains off the Steam Workshop in different liveries. I think the mod maker was... this is a username, pretty sure it's something like that. So these are pretty cool. They're basically reskinned from the intercity train, which unfortunately was far too big to add on this. There was a ScotRail version that I was going to swap out, but unfortunately the ScotRail version has a different consist. As you can see here, National Express is 2+8. That's the smallest version that I could find. So is the GNER 2+8. If we head down, there's the East Coast, also 2+8. The Virgin Trains East Coast 2+8. Great Western is also 2+8. But unfortunately the ScotRail only came in a 2+4 or 2+5, so I couldn't use it. And it's a pretty cool train as well. It's got a cool skin. And the London North Eastern was our last 2.8. Now they both say Virgin, this one and this one, but this one actually says LNER on it. So we'll go and check them just now. Go away please. Now they are very long. I was hoping to get a shorter versions of them. Unfortunately I couldn't. They do all have the sort of slanty headlight sort of fixture, apart from the Great Western Railways, which is the old school sort of two bug eye sort of headlights, and it's also got a dude in it. So we want the Great Western Railways one to win because it's got a dude in it. Over here we've got our National Express, we have our East Coast train, our Virgin train, Great Western Railways, Great North Eastern Railways, and London North Eastern Railways. So they look pretty cool. They are all set to go. Obviously each one has a top speed of 125 miles per hour. Now this is sort of like our test. Is that facing the wrong way? Should that say National Express that way? What does the one at the back say? National Express. That's right. So is that facing the wrong way? I have no idea. Because if I flip the train, it's gonna be... I'm sure they're heading. We'll find out in a second. We'll push pause. They are all stopped currently. If this Falmouth Annex, so you are going to the right place. So you're going to Falmouth. Well, that's bad. You should be going to Falmouth Annex. There we go. You're now heading to the right place. Now your East Coast is now backwards. Okay, right, got it. Confused there for a moment. You are ready to go to Falmouth Annex, please. You, sir, are going to Falmouth Annex. And you are going to Falmouth Annex, well done. And so are you. So they are now ready to go. Now, as I said, they are very long. I was looking for shorter versions, but hopefully they'll be able to get up to speed. They should be pretty decent, but we shall find out. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now they do have horns, I have heard them. There we go. And they're off. Our intercities, or our high speed class 43s. The HST 125 already. You can see on this line here. So it's better to be on this right hand side at the start. Now in the diesel races, the French train was on this line. And it did very well at the start. So that maybe would have been an added boost for it. That's actually pretty cool. Hold on. Now if we level this, there you go. That would be a pretty awesome screenshot. That was cool. Right, so they're heading out. Now, as always, unless they glitch, If they all stay perfect all the way around, then we'll know exactly which train or which line was the fastest, and we'll be able to see if the previous trains, or you'll be able to go look back and see if other trains in single or haulage races benefited from being on that line. So, but they are off. They look pretty cool. Bring me up train 1 for the moment. Our London Northeastern. Now that window kind of sticks out a bit. Cool. Okay. So yes, definitely a benefit being on this left hand side. Absolutely, definitely a benefit, because they are starting to split up now. Now, as always, these trains are all the same speed, same weight, acceleration, power, etc, etc. So, ooh, definite glitch for the Virgin Railways train there. It just died. It absolutely died. So now, we won't be able to tell which line benefits the most. Or we will if this one here, the LNER, stays in first all the way around. Then we'll know that this track here that it's on was the best track to be on for the previous races. But it's a shame the Virgin train glitched out. I'm trying to remember exactly what trains were on that track. The British train, the class 47, did glitch out in the haulage race. So, but that wasn't on that line, it was actually on this line here, the second one in from the right hand side. Now it looks like this GNER is sort of closing. That's pretty cool. How fast are they going? 74, 75. So probably roughly about the same as the diesels were in their haulage race, although their loads were obviously lighter, as they only had 4 coaches to haul. These have 8. It'd have been awesome if I could have got every one with just 2 and 4, or 1 power unit, 4 coaches, and a power unit at the back. What can you actually see from here? Great Western. See, this East Coast is right if you're looking at it from this direction, but on the other side of the train it's backwards. Now that was deceiving. It looked like this Virgin train was catching this Great Western, but it's not. Let's pull back out and just make sure everybody is still the same. Now it looks like these trains on the right hand side seem to suffer more. Even this train here is starting to gain on them. And because they're all the same speed and acceleration, that should not happen. Unless obviously these 2 lines on the inside are pretty bad. So it looks like any train that were using these 2 tracks probably suffered the most, or at least so far anyway. Right, they are heading out. Ooh, it looks like this Great Western, this Great Northeastern Railways train is starting to pass the London Northeastern Railways train. And the Great Western is closing on it as well. I do like this Great Western in the green livery. I think it also has a black livery. I think it depends on... with this mod, you can either download each train singly, or you can download them as a pack. Now, what actually happens is, you start off with the first skin, the intercity train. You have to download the Great Western Railways mod individually, and the other 6 trains, the ScotRail, the GNER, the LNER, the National Express and the East Coast and Virgin East Coast trains all come in a pack. You can download them separately. I would recommend downloading them separately because you will get every single one in the train depot that you can buy anytime, apart from the intercity high-speed train, which seems to either disappear or sort of bug out. It doesn't seem to load. There is a way around that, and it's because the intercity train is the first iteration of all these trains. It sort of came out long before the rest did, so you can have the mod, use the trains, install these trains as the mod for these trains just before they become available, and you'll still have your intercity trains rolling back and forth. You won't be able to upgrade them because the intercity HST will disappear from the sort of the depot. You won't be able to buy it or replace it. And when you download these 6 in a pack, apart from the Great Western, what happens is when the first one comes out, I'm not sure which it is, I think it's the GNER is the first train to come out. So you get that skin for a limited amount of time until the next sort of variation of the train becomes available, and then the train gets reskinned. Just say like this one came out first, the GNER, and the next train available was the LNER. The GNER would disappear and you would have this skin. So that's why I think it's better to download them individually. There's not much you can do about it, but they are good mods, basically taken from the good old train fever. So it's just a shame you lose the intercity, but if you want to keep running it, what you can do is buy a crap ton of them and store them in depots. Obviously they're going to be old even though you're not using them, but you can still use them. The trains don't age. I'm not sure if these ones do. I don't think they do, but I know the intercity one doesn't age. It stays the same throughout. So you'll obviously lose money on running costs because the train will eventually be so old, and you will, if it's just sitting in a depot doing nothing, it still incurs running costs. But I want this Great Western to win just because there's a dude in it. A rather crude looking 2D dude, but it's like a GIF image, but it's still pretty cool. I like it. Now this Virgin train has passed these 2 trains, so this line, obviously a horrible, or these 2 lines on the left hand side obviously are the slowest by the looks of it. And these 3 on this side seem to be the best. I dare say that this track that the Virgin train is on is also okay, but it's just because he glitched out. But he is starting to catch the rest, so that is strange. And where the hell are we actually? We're coming up to York. Now this is quite a fast section. I think they can maintain speed through here. Let's see how fast they get up to. Obviously, if they all had the shorter consist, the 2+4, I think they would go faster. It's, well, it's physics really. Less weight to pull, better acceleration. So I was kind of bummed out when they only came in a 2+8 or a 2+9. But oh well, such is life. The only thing I was happy is that there were actually 6 trains that had the 2+8 consist or configuration, just so I could sort of get this rolling. Now the mod, or the authors, or mod makers for these trains, were going to bring out other skins, like the Midlands Railway, and I can't remember, I think they were maybe going to do the black version of the Great Western Railways train. But then I noticed in one of the comments, one of the mod makers said that they had lost the files for the trains. They were completely gone or something, which is a real shame because they are pretty awesome and they add a large amount of variety if you're playing a UK playthrough at least. I was going to do a UK playthrough at some point, and these would be an awesome addition to it. I am very familiar with these trains, as most people in Britain will be. I've ridden on quite a few GNRs. I've actually ridden on a 125 London North Eastern. Never been on the Great Western, but I have seen the train. I've been on National Express, and Virgin is quite a common occurrence in the UK as well. So, and the ScotRail trains, been on them too, obviously. And the classic Intercity 125. Right, so East Coast is starting to pull away from National Express, so you've got the dud line, bud. Sorry. Ooh, right, now they can get... I was hoping they would kind of get up to 100 miles per hour here, but it doesn't look like it. Pretty much just like they are in real life. So, obviously a rule of thumb for using these in a playthrough. You'll notice with high speed trains, obviously there is a mod out there where you can, that basically breaks up multiple units, so you can use each unit individually. And like these have 8 coaches on them, they only carry 152. Now I've noticed, especially with the speed dance, if you've done an American playthrough, that it needs to go a sort of decent distance. It needs to be able at some point to be going at its top speed across that distance, and it needs to be full and unload pretty much every passenger at its next stop. Putting it on a sort of intercity train where it has to stop at multiple places doesn't work. You won't cover the running costs. It's the same for these and lots of other sort of high speed trains, the TGVs, the Chinese bullet trains and things. They are fast for a reason, that's why they make their money. They need to be able to go at like their top speed, or even the line or track top speed, because obviously things like the Chinese bullet train can do, is it 320? Is it 280? It's something, it's like a ridiculous speed, but it's limited to the speed of the track, obviously for health and safety reasons. I do believe they have tested it, so some brave driver took the train to its maximum speed. Is it 240 miles per hour? I can't remember. Somebody will know, somebody will leave a comment. But obviously the train does not go at that speed when it's carrying passengers. I mean, if you were in a train that was doing 200 odd miles per hour and it came off the track, you're going to be pretty dead. Right? Many people are going to be able to survive that. So you've actually redeemed yourself, even though you were bugged out. You two unfortunately had the 2 worst lines by far are these left hand. And the 3 trains here seem to have been okay. I dare say the Virgin train would be up there with the Great Western if it hadn't glitched out. Because the middle tracks get the best of both worlds. No, but they get the best and the worst depending on which way the corner is going. Nice. So when we come to do the Scottish map, which is basically sort of going to be the same, we're going to do an outline around here. We're going to use the Sprinter, the 1.5 or the 150 or the 152. Also trains people in Britain will be very familiar with. Now I do know there are at least 7 or 8. There are definitely 6 liveries for that train, and they all have the just the double consist, like a power unit. I think they're 2 power units joined together. Right, so GNER might actually win this. This is the oldest. It's doing good though. Now where are we? Right, we're coming up to Aberystwyth. Train 4, which is our Virgin and Eastern Railways. It looks like the East Coast train is actually starting to catch up. Interesting. But the National Express has definitely had it. There's no way it'll be able to catch. I should have actually saved these trains, now that I'm thinking about it, for a line where they could go at top speed. This one is very, very sort of twisty, curvy, turny, however you would like to say it. It's got a lot of twists and turns. But they'll get there eventually. How are you looking? Let's jump on board with our East Coast train. How are you looking? Very nice indeed. I do like the East Coast one looks very plain and basic, with the National Express sort of the same colours, but it's got the white there. It's so weird that this is backwards. It's confusing. Why, if I go around to this side of the train, aha! So you just look at the train from the right hand side. It's easy. That sorts that little debacle. Right, train 1, where is the... Ooh, you are no longer train 1. GNER is in first, and they seem to have left the Great Western train. The only one. These are all on autopilot. This one has a driver, as you can see. There it goes. These three are on autopilot as well. Alright, train 2. You're just managing to fend off the London North Eastern. How fast are they going? 76, 77, 78, 88. They'll have to slow down. Alright, keep going. Alright, get back up to speed again. Ah, you can't get up to speed till the back of the train is round the corner, okay. And then they're going to have to slow down drastically here to get round to this section. Let's actually find a spot to watch them as they go round. So London North Eastern just creeping into the lead there. Great Western train there, looks pretty smart. I do like the green. I am a sucker for green. The Virgin train sort of managed to redeem itself. It did glitch out, unfortunately. Well, there he goes. The other train's heading off in the distance. There's our East Coast train. And our National Express should appear any moment. You're getting a wee bit of frame drop. National Express. Okay. Right, train 2, how are you getting on, bud? Where are you? Okay, you are actually heading towards the finish line. I thought they were only Aberystwyth. Nope. My bad. Right, so continue on, bud. You can do it. I believe in you. It looks like the GNAR's won, and the Great Western is starting to pass the London North Eastern. So definitely these two tracks here were the best. And I'm going to go as far as say this one bang in the middle would have been good as well if the Virgin train hadn't glitched out. Even though it did though, it still managed to pass the National Express here and the East Coast train. So maybe our manually piloted 125 can maybe get somewhere in the end. No. Damn, wanted him to win. Actually, I would have been running the ScotRail train if it had the right amount of coaches, and I would have absolutely wanted that to win. Because I'm Scottish. I'll actually, at the end, I'll bring the ScotRail train out, just so you can see the livery. That is all the available liveries, apart from the Intercity. But I'll show you as well that sort of disappears. I do have the mod installed. It came in like 3 variants. There was a short, a sort of medium, and a long. Now they had crazy passenger capacities. So the GNER won. The London North Eastern was in second, and the Great Western Railways train was in. Let's stop you. Let's stop you because you're trying to escape. Let's stop you because you're trying to escape. The Virgin train coming in 4th there. So it did well, even though it glitched out. It did manage to bring it back. So you stop there. East Coast Railways finishing in 5th. And the National Express train in 6th. So these 2 lines here were pretty horrific. So any previous trains that ran on those lines were ultimately at a disadvantage. And these 4 on this side seem to have been the best. So that's strange. So there must be more right-hand turns than there are strong left-hand turns. Okay, I'll try and even that out for the next race. But there you have it. There we go. Say goodbye to the driver. Bye, dude. You did well. But that is it for round 6. So, as always, if you did watch this and you would like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. Oh, in fact, wait a minute. What we shall do is, we'll go here, go to buy trains. I'll show you this first. So we go into diesel multiple units. Now, I forgot to uninstall these American trains. Which was my bad, so there's a lot of them, so bear with me till I find it. Now, you are from when? 1996, so the Intercity came in the 80s, so it should be around here somewhere, but it's not, it's gone. And then you start off with this one. Now, there is a way to get the Intercity. It's basically just to run it up until this train comes out, and then it'll disappear. So the way I sort of get around it is to install the Intercity mod, which as I was explaining as well before I realised it was the end of the race, the short version, medium version, long, and I think there was like an extra long as well, they had like madness passenger capacities. I mean, these trains have 2 + 8 and they carry 152 people. Now the short version alone of the Intercity train would probably, I think it was 170 or something it carried, and like the next one up, the medium, had 360, and they just got wildly towards the moon as you continued. But here are the liveries. Here's what they look like. So if you had the Intercity mod, as soon as this train became available in 1996, you would lose the Intercity. It would go, and you'd have the GNER. Now, you would continue on if it came to 2007, sorry for my madness, Scottishness there. But when it came to 2007, the GNER would go and it'd be reskinned with this National Express. I do believe this is how it works, as it was explained to me. And I've sort of witnessed it as well. But when this came out in 2009, you would get the East Coast train, and then so on. You would get 2015, you would get this. Now, weirdly, this train, oh no, that's 2018, yes, because that only came out this year. But this train is a separate download, so you will always have this train. But you see here the ScotRail train, it's got 2 + 4 and 2 + 5. Didn't have the 2 + 8. We've got our London North Eastern Railways there as well. So it's kind of weird, but you'll get used to it. It's a good mod. We'll actually buy one of these. What depot am I in? Just go with that one for the moment. Diesels. Go down. Get me one of these by. Set it on line 6. Away it goes. Now we'll wait for it to come out with the depot and we'll have a look at it. Because it is pretty nicely skinned. See, the doors open and stuff, that's pretty cool. And we'll push pause there. Right, train 7. There it is. So it's got like Edinburgh City and stuff on the side of it. Or some Scottish landmarks. And there are the coaches and stuff. ScotRail, Scotland Railway. I think that's Edinburgh Castle. I think they're all Edinburgh Castle. But anywho, it's pretty cool. It's a shame we couldn't get to use it. He's got a dude as well. Awesome. Man, that sucks. I would have loved to have used this one. But again, only comes in the 4 and the 5. I would have loved them all to just come in the 4 to make it a shorter train. They definitely would have went faster. But anywho, that is going to be it for this episode. So as always, I will continue with the outro. If you did watch this and you'd like to leave a like, comment, or dislike, please feel free to do so. If there is more you would like to see in the future, hit that subscribe button. But I've been Danny Boy. This has been Transport Fever at the races on the UK map for round 6. And I will catch you later.